Explain vector diagram for potential transformer. So the potential transformer is generally a step down transformer that we have already seen. It steps down the high voltage to the low voltage. Voltage coil of the relay is connected across the secondary winding of PT. In measurement type of PT, the voltmeter or the pressure coil of wattmeter or energy meter is connected on the secondary side. Primary winding with large number of turns with thin wire and the secondary winding with relatively small number of turns are wound on the laminated core. This laminated core is made up of silicon steel stampings. Flux phi is produced in the core when the primary winding is connected to the high voltage supply, and EMF is induced in the secondary winding as flux links with it. So this is how the flux is produced and links with the secondary winding. So the turns ratio, that is ideally Kn is equals to primary turns upon secondary turns, which is Np upon Ns. Vp is the primary applied voltage, that is the high voltage on the primary side which is applied, and Vs is the secondary output voltage which is 110 volt or 110 by root 3 volts. Now what is the actual voltage ratio? That kV is equals to actual voltage ratio, which is equals to primary voltage upon secondary voltage. So in this figure you can visualize this. This is the flux phi. So the EMF induced is 90 degree to this phi. So it is EP is 90 degree to flux phi. So EP is like this EMF P. Now the voltage drop due to resistance IP into RP and IP into XP is this. Now this IP is formed with the help of magnetizing current and energizing current. So IM is in flux with the flux component, and IE, that is the loss component, which is in the 90 degree about this. So IM is with flux and 90 degree, this IE is like this, which forms the IA, that is the IA current. So now this IA current with the transform secondary current IS dash, so total current with vectorically with add, so this is I0 current, that is magnetizing current with magnetizing current, that is no load primary current, and this is IS dash, this is the current on the primary winding flowing. So the total current of the primary winding is the vector addition of this I0 and IS dash. So this is IP, this is current. Now IP into RP voltage drop is there, and IP into XP voltage drop across the inductive component of primary winding, which includes or which sum up with IP ZP like this. So now add this EP plus IP ZP voltage drop equals to this primary voltage VP. So this is the voltage vector VP. This is the EP. So now this I0 is the magnetizing current, that is no load primary current, and IM is the magnetizing component, and IE is the loss component. Phi is the angle between these two, primary and reverse secondary voltage vector. Now ZP is the primary burden, ZS is the secondary burden, ZB is the external circuit burden, and ZE is the excitation circuit burden respectively in this. When this primary winding is connected to supply, magnetizing current I0 flows through it. So there are two components, which is IM equals to I0 cos phi 0, IM equals to I0 cos phi 0, which is in the quadrature or with the same line with flux, and IE is equals to I0 sin phi 0, which is in quadrature with it. So IE is in phase with EP. So flux is produced in the core due to this magnetizing component. Now this flux vector is in phase with the magnetizing component IM. So this IM is in phase with the flux component, whereas EMF ES is induced in the secondary winding, which is 90 degree lagging behind the flux vector. So ES is 90 degree behind this lagging. Current secondary flows in as the relay coil is connected across the secondary winding. So voltage drop occurs due to this. So secondary voltage Vs is available, which is less than the induced EMF ES. Now primary balancing current IS dash is flowing due to the secondary current. So this IS dash opposite to this is IS. Now Vs we have. Similarly, ISRS drop added into it and ISXS drop due to the inductive component of it, which sum up with IS into ZS, that is the secondary impedance voltage drop. So ISZS into VS sum up like ES. So this is the secondary voltage ES, which is 180 degree out of EP. By adding all these drops, and we can get the EP and ES. So this is how EP and ES are 180 degree out of phase in the potential transformer. So this is the complete vector diagram of potential transformer. This is the practical diagram. In case of ideal diagram, if the voltage vector is reversed, then EP and ES like this and VP and VS are like this. So both are overlapped with each other, hence there is no phase shift in it. So this is how the vector diagram of potential transformer is understood.